Hi, fourth grade. How are you? How was your weekend? I hope you had a blast indoors, of course, at your house. um, for this week and the coming weeks, what we're going to try for distance learning are online videos with PowerPoints. So hopefully um, you can feel more connected with school and with me through these videos. Unfortunately, I can't see your awesome faces, but I'll wait for our GoToMeeting sessions to connect with you guys face to face, okay? Anyways, let's get started. Oh, I have to make sure actually that this floats on top. Let me see if it does that. It does. Okay. Now, there we go. And then I'm going to put it in slideshow. All right. So, it's really good to see you again. Pikachu is expressing how I really feel inside my heart right now. um, so today we're going to review comparing decimals. I know we worked really hard understanding how to compare decimals last week. We're going to continue a little bit more today. Now, do you remember how to draw a place value chart? Yeah? Well, what I want you to do is I want you to draw a place value chart with the following columns: a hundreds column, a tens column, a ones column, a tenths column, and a hundredths column. Okay, so pause the video and draw from what you remember a place value chart with those specific columns I listed out. Okay, so pause it, and then when you're ready, play the video again and you can see how your drawing matches up with the actual place value chart, okay? All right, see you soon. Okay, so does your place value chart look like this? If so, yay, good job. Well, this one has thousands and thousands, okay, but we're not going to talk about that right now, okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to write 2.8 and 2.08 on the place value chart. So pause the video to do it, okay? And press play when you're ready to check what you have with what's in the PowerPoint presentation. See you soon. All right, is this what you wrote? Is it pretty close? Okay. Now, sorry that my video is covering that information up there. Okay. It says, compare the two numbers. Which is larger? Which is smaller? And how do you know? So notice for 2.8, I wrote 2.8 as 2.80. This is what I wrote. Okay? This is the same. 2.8 and 2.80 is the same. Okay? So remember this student here who helped us to compare numbers on a place value chart. Okay, we always need to start with the greatest place value first. And in this case, what's the greatest place value that you see in the place value chart where the numbers are? Obviously, thousands is the greatest one, but there's no numbers in the thousands column, right? So what's the greatest place value? If you said the ones, you're right. So let's compare the ones. So we have a 2 and a 2. They're the same. That doesn't help us. So we're going to move on to the next biggest place value. What's that? If you said the tenths, you're right. So now, let's see. 8 and 0 are different. So now we can compare the numbers. We can see which one is bigger and which one is smaller. 8/10 and 0/10. Which one's bigger? Which one's smaller? Well, 8/10 is greater than 0/10. This means then 2.8 is greater than 2.08. Now let's write these three numbers in the place value chart. It's the same two numbers as before. I just added a new number, a third number. So pause the video and write these three numbers in your place value chart. Welcome back. Does your place value chart look like this? Yeah. So again, we're going to compare now the three numbers. Which is larger? Which is smaller? How do you know? Well, we're going to always start with the largest place value, which in this case is the tens. So we have 2/10 and then 0/10. Which one's bigger? Which one's smaller? 2/10 is bigger than 0/10, so 20.8 is the greatest. So with this information, order from greatest to smallest is 20.8, then 2.8, then 2.08. Now notice where we put the zeros, okay? The first number is 2.8, right? It's at the top row of the place value chart. Remember originally I put 2.80 like this, okay? So when we put a 0 after the last number that comes after the decimal point, does it change the value of this number? No, it's still the same, isn't it? Okay. Well, let's look at this, okay? Now, what I did next was there's 2.8, right? So instead of 2.8, I put a 0 right after the decimal point, but before the 8. When that happens, which one's bigger? Which one's smaller? 2.8 is bigger. Whenever we put a 0 right before the number that comes after the decimal point. Now let's look at this. 2.8, and then instead of doing 2.8, I put the 0 right here. It comes before the decimal point, but yet after the ones, right? So then I scooted over the ones and the ones becomes the tens, right? So let's compare these two numbers. When I put the 0 here, what happens? 2.8 is less than 20.8. So wherever we place an extra 0, it changes. Sometimes it won't change the value of our number, but other times it'll change the value of our number. Okay, so we have to be careful where we decide to put our zeros. All right? Okay. So now let's look at this example. Both Andy and Rita think that 0.23 is greater than 0.3. Rita says 23 is greater than 3, so 0.23 is greater than 0.3. Andy says 23 tenths is greater than 3 tenths, so 0.23 is greater than 0.3. Do you agree? Why or why not? Explain your answer. So I want you to pause this video and think about, do I agree with Andy or Rita? Okay, so pause it, think about it, have an answer in your mind ready, and then play the video to see who is really right. Okay, all right, see you soon. All right, did you think hard about it? Well, I think to help us to understand what is true, what is right, it'll help us to draw a place value chart. Okay, so let's draw one. And then I'm going to put the two numbers 0.23 and 0.3 in the place value chart. So when Rita says 23 is greater than 3, that's true. She's not saying 23 hundredths is greater than 3 tenths, right? She's saying the number 23 is greater than 3. Okay, that's true. But her second sentence is false because when we examine the place value chart, or the second part of her sentence is false because when we examine the place value chart, we see, well, we're going to look at the biggest place value, which is the ones, and it's the same number, so that won't help us. So we have to go to the next biggest one, which is the tenths column. Oh, thankfully, they both have different numbers. Now, 3 tenths is greater than 2 tenths. So that means 0.3 is greater than 0.23. Okay, so Rita is wrong. Now let's look at Andy. So Andy says 23 tenths is greater than 3 tenths. But the thing is, 23 tenths is not what's written in the place value chart, right? How do we say that number? We can say it as 0.23 or we can say it as 23 hundredths. 23 hundredths. So the way that he tried to say it and understand it was incorrect because 23 tenths is not the way that it's written in the place value chart. But is what he said correct? Let's see, 23 tenths. Okay, so if I want to draw in my place value chart, let me see, I'm going to just draw one here on paper. So we have my tenths and then my hundredths. Ones and tens. Okay, so underneath here, I drew a little place value chart. Okay, so the original number is 0.23, right? So 0.23, and this is 23 hundredths. Okay, but what Andy is saying is 23 tenths is greater than 3 tenths. But if I want to write 23 tenths is actually this, is 2.3. And is 2.3 greater than 3 tenths, 0.3? Yes, it is. It is. That is true. But the way that he tried to understand it from looking at the place value chart, he said 0.3 incorrectly, okay? Because 0.23, I'm sorry, he said 0.23 incorrectly. 0.23 should be verbally said as 23 hundredths, Okay. All right. And so in here, we know also that um, 0.23 is not greater than 0.3. Okay. All right, we're going to complete the let's practice. I want you to pause the video and do numbers 1 through 6. Okay, do it for a couple of minutes, think about it, and play the video once you're ready to check your answers, okay? All right, see you soon. Hi, welcome back. So for number 1 and 2, we have to compare each of the decimals using the greater than or less than sign. And for number 1, if we immediately look at the greatest place value, which is the ones column, they have different numbers. Now, I know that 0 ones is less than 2 ones, okay? So that's why the answer is 0.70 is less than 2.77. Look at number 2. Now, the greatest place value is the ones, but the numbers are the same, so that doesn't help us. So let's go to the next greatest place value, which is a tens. Oh man, it's the same number in that column too. All right, let's go to the next place value column, which is the hundredths. Okay, 6 hundredths is less than 7 hundredths, so the answer is 2.76 is less than 2.77. All right, for 3 and 4, we're going to order the decimals from least to greatest, and from 5 and 6, we're going to order the decimals from greatest to least. Is this what you got? I guess you guys can't see what the answer is back there. So for number 6, the answer is 4.32, 3.24, and 4. Oops, I'm sorry. Let me start over. The answer is 4.32, 3.24, and 2.43. And yeah, you can figure this out by putting the numbers on a place value chart and comparing them, starting with the greatest place value column. Good job. Thank you for all of your effort today. All right, well, that's all for now. I'll see you soon. Bye.